Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name's Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you learn how to quit that JOB, that just over broke job, by investing in real estate so you never, ever have to work a job again. Today, I'm super pumped to bring on a fantastic investor. She's been investing since 1998, I believe it was, 97, 98, and now she has 7 properties. She is a student here at Master Passive Income. Cristina Garcia, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Dustin, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Man, this is terrific, Cristina. So you and I have been working together for a little while now, and seeing you buy the next property and then the next property, it's just so terrific. What got you started investing in real estate?
Well, I started back when I was very young. I was 21 years old. I was single, and I purchased my first triplex back in, I believe it was October 1998. It was locally here where I live in Inglewood. So I felt comfortable purchasing it here. And then in May of 2001, I purchased a single residence where we're living currently, same right next door to the triplex. So I was, and then my oldest sister moved to North Carolina. So me and my husband decided to purchase a property in Gardner, North Carolina, and she helps us manage the property. So then we took a long time from, I think it was from 2009 until 2020 when we purchased another property in Burlington, Kentucky. And also I was hearing your podcast, and I was getting more encouraging, more motivating. So I came out of my comfort zone. And we have a brother-in-law that lives in Florence, Kentucky. So he helped us a little bit with that property, but we managed that property. And then last year we purchased 2 properties. One in March of last year in Akron, Ohio, and then the other one, I believe it was in October in Akron, Ohio as well. And, what really got me, excited and pumped is hearing your podcast, listening to the, monthly get-togethers where everybody shares different ideas. And, I'm really fortunate, to listen to you and learn from you. And I was able to, go through your program, still learning. And that's where I met one of the property managers that I hired, and he manages 2 other properties in Akron, Ohio.
That is terrific. And the fact that you started really young and buying a triplex, I commend you on that. And, being able to do it on your own. And that is so awesome. And then now seeing you grow and develop. So you found me on the podcast. That's so cool. Now you're on the podcast actually sharing how well you're doing.
Yes. Correct. Thank you. Yes.
That is great. Okay. So what would you say is one of the harder parts about investing in real estate and doing it successfully? Because anybody could buy a property and try to find a tenant, but what would you say was one of like a hurdle and something that you were able to get over by, either listening to the podcast or jumping on the coaching calls? What would you say that really helped you?
I would say I learned my lessons, and also listening to a podcast. One of the biggest lessons was when we purchased a property in Burlington, Kentucky. The house looked beautiful from inside, beautiful from outside. It seemed like I was ready to move in, but we made the mistake of not hiring a property inspector. And also I did another mistake of not hiring a property manager first. So when I did all of the screening, I put the property online, and I was communicating with the future tenants, and it seems that the property had plumbing issues, really a lot of plumbing issues, where there was a lot of water coming out into the basement, and there was just a lot of problems. So we hired a company, and they didn't fix the problem, and so we had to hire another person to fix the problem. So I finally fixed the problem, but it was definitely a nightmare for at least 2 months. Yeah. So that's one of my biggest lessons. It's better to get a property inspector. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Property inspector and a property manager. So I've done both of those where I didn't do it right the first time. In fact, the first time that I did it, I didn't hire the right property manager. And the property manager started stealing from me, let alone being incompetent. It was like, it's just the worst case scenario. And now realizing that building the business and finding the right people first was so helpful for me. Talk about what it's like to build the business first and how master passive income and showing you like, okay, we got to build a business first. We also have students that have already done it before you. So probably utilize some of these property managers. Talk about that process.
For me, I would look at the list of the property managers that are on the list on your program, and also look at the city that they're located, and look at that city and that state on Zillow and see the properties there. And then also I would either like send an email to that property manager and ask, what does he think about the area? What does he think about the house? What's the crime rate? And ask him questions, to make sure, that property manager is going to be able to manage that property. So, I could have like a peace of mind. That's a first step also. And then if we do like the property, the second step is obviously to make an offer with contingencies, with requiring that, we're going to get a property inspector to inspect the property. And, that way we'll know which issues or problems that property has. And we can decide either to lower our offer or have the seller to fix any repairs, or to see if we could get into an agreement. Mm-hmm.
That's so great, because you've learned and implemented so much in the business model. Now, the ones that you bought, a lot of people would think, okay, Cristina bought it right next door to her, and she bought, she's right next to her, but I can't afford that. And I hear about this investing out of state. What are your thoughts? Like, what would you suggest, or your insights into investing out of state?
It is normal and natural to feel nervous, and to have self-doubts, and to be, fearful. But, in the future, it's going to be worthwhile, because, you interview the property manager, you get a property manager that's recommended, and you ask questions about the area. What is the area? What is the schools? What kind of schools are there around there? And what is the crime rate? Just ask a lot of questions to become knowledgeable of if it would be a good investment. And, how much is that property going to rent for? What would be like the amount that property is going to rent for? That's also a good question to ask the property manager. And, also make sure, you hire the right property inspector as well, to make sure what issues and problems that house has.
Yeah, you're asking all the right questions, because you can guess. Like, people say, well, Zillow says it can rent for this much. And like, well, that Zillow's not an expert. All they're doing is taking information, data, and then trying to sell you it. Now, what I found is that when we talk to the experts, the people living there on the ground, ask them, how much is it going to rent for? More than likely, they're going to know. They're going to know better than Zillow. In fact, a lot of the companies that share this is how much it rents for, they look at the zip code, the entire zip code, which there's so many different types of properties, and zip codes can be huge. So we don't do that, but we utilize the property managers. Now, what was the first property in 2020 in Ohio? Talk us through getting that first property. How much did you buy it for? How much is the passive income, and anything else you could share on that?
The first property in Akron, Ohio, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And I believe, I don't even remember, it was a while ago. We made a cash offer. I believe it was, I don't remember, like 110,000, I believe. And I believe we purchased it for like about 93,000. It was a really nice home with a garage. And, before that, we made the offer. I asked the property manager, what do you think about the area? And what do you think about the house? And, he said it was a really good area, and, to make an offer. So we made an offer with contingencies, and we got, we hired the property inspector just to make sure we don't have any, unexpected surprises. So, and then the property manager put the listing online. There was a lot of people interested in the property. So he did the screening. So the property rented probably in about 3 or 4 months, I believe. So it was fairly quickly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's great. And so how much is the passive income, would you say, is that?
So we made a cash offer in this one. So we paid, I believe, 10% to the property manager. And passive income, it's probably about 1,300, because I believe it rents for 1,495. Yes.
Whoa. In Akron?
Yes.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Thank you.
That's a ton of passive income. So are you paying cash for these?
Yes, because we refinance three of our properties. We refinance where we live. We refinance cash out this house where we live for, and we got 150,000. And then we also refinance cash out the other house that we have in Palmdale, and the other also the other house that we have in Garner, North Carolina, refinance cash out when we took advantage when the interest rates were low at 3.25.
Smart.
So we cash out on three of those. So we paid cash for the first property in Akron, Ohio, and also for the second one in Akron, Ohio.
That's awesome. And people might be thinking, well, she still has, increased mortgage on those other ones. Well, we don't buy the next property unless it pays for the mortgage that we got and makes us more money. Correct?
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's terrific. And you're just recycling your money. So now you have a couple properties that are free and clear that you could do the same thing over again.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I'm thinking about looking into getting like a home equity line of credit or a business line of credit to have that cushion, in case we need it like for repairs or, try to purchase another property. Most of it possible purchasing by cash because it's faster.
And totally. And a lot of my students now, we're all talking about how 2023 and 24 and 25 is going to be one of the best times ever to invest in real estate. And so if you're not investing, you really should be. Now, also with that though, you need to have access to capital. You need to have access to money to be able to buy the next property. So we've been talking a lot about business line of credit, a second property, or not second loans, but like if you have a rental property, getting a home equity line of credit on that property. So you have access. It's not like you have it in your pocket, but you have access to utilize it to buy the next property. So I'm really, really glad that you're doing that. So what's the next step for you to continually grow and scale the business? Because your goal is to get 10 more properties. What can you do right now? What are you doing right now to scale that up?
Well, currently right now, I'm searching properties also in Akron, Ohio. So I like 3 properties there. So I emailed my real estate agent. So we're gonna see those properties tomorrow through FaceTime. So one of them, it seems like it was a really good property. So that one they made an offer and it's already contingent. So she's not gonna show us that one. So we'll see 2 properties tomorrow on those 2. See if we like those, and then if we do like one of them, we'll make an offer with contingencies and then get a property inspector to inspect the property.
Now, you're 100% right in doing all that because you're having the experts do the work for you so that they're helping you make sure it's done right. Now, I love it. So I started investing back in 2006. You started investing in 1998, wasn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So
really young because my mom pushed me to buy the triplex. I didn't want to get it. I was engaged. So she's like, you have to buy a property. You're not going to rent. You have to buy a property and live in one of the apartments. So we did live on the first apartment. And that's why, but I was upset. I didn't want to buy it. I was like, I don't want that responsibility because I was too young. I was 21. So I'm like, I want to buy a brand new car. She's like, no, you have to buy a property. You're not going to get out of this house to rent in another place.
God bless your mom. Yes, yeah. Wow. That's brilliant. And then look at where you're at now. I mean, that's wisdom. Now, when in 1998, let alone 2006, there weren't podcasts. There weren't all this stuff out there. In fact, their only thing was like gurus that could charge thousands, like 30, 40, 50, $100,000 for you to them to coach you. Now, tell me about the difference because I've seen it. 2006, there wasn't anything like, the student community that we have, which has lots of students. We get on group coaching calls. We all encourage each other, help each other out. I'm coaching Charles and William. We're all coaching people. So before this, though, you're doing it all by yourself. It's really hard. But now we have hopefully other people around you. You have a community of people, coaches like Charles and myself and William. So talk to us about like what you saw before 1998, doing all your own, being scary, to now where you have a lot of backup around you.
Now I feel so, so fortunate, and there's so much information. I've learned so much from you and from Charles, and I just feel so fortunate that I'm asking the experts like you, and it makes me feel more, it gives me courage and it gives me confidence to, invest out of state, far away from where I live. Because back then we would just invest locally where we live, in the same city or maybe an hour away. The other property that we purchased back in, I believe it was 2009. I went to an auction, but they were all in California. So that property was in Palmdale, California. So, I kept bidding on the property. So we were able to get a loan on that property. And I was really young too. And I didn't know much about auctions. It was the first time I went to an auction. And then after, a few years passed by, my husband's like, "Oh, I regret not purchasing another property," because there was another property in Apple Valley that sold for like $80,000, and now it's worth probably like $400,000. I'm like, we were just scared, and we were naive, we were just scared that something bad might happen, so we didn't want to risk it too much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. In fact, Apple Valley, when you said that, I was like, oh, that's literally where I was born. I was born in Apple
Oh,
Valley.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
was. Oh man, so this is so great. Now, any other lessons that you can share that as going through the process, obviously starting in 1998 all the way to now, is there any specific lesson that you said, man, I'm so glad I learned this and I wish I would known this beforehand?
Yeah, like the one I mentioned, and also, asking a lot of questions, especially getting property managers that are recommended, and yeah, asking them a lot of questions and learning, not taking someone's word for it, but doing the research and, doing your due diligence and, working with the numbers, making sure, you're going to be able to pay your expenses, that you're going to have profit after, just doing research and asking the experts as always, like you, Dustin and Charles, and people that have, invested in many properties.
That's great. I love it. So, Cristina, it's so awesome to see you again. It's great always having you coming on the coaching calls. Now, I got to ask you a question. I don't remember. Are you coming to the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference?
Yes. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
My airfare tickets and the hotel. Yeah. Ready to go. Yeah. I'm
So excited. So excited to finally meet you in person. And then everybody listening, we would love to hang out with you. I mean, this is literally just a community that I've tried to bring all of us together just because it's so much better when we gather together to invest together and help each other out. So if you're listening and you want to come to RubeCon, the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference, it's going to be May in Phoenix. Use the promo code podcast. It'll give you 10% off your ticket. I just want to see you be there with us. You will realize when you're there how amazing it is to have other people around you that are sharing like-minded and also at the same time encouraging to build you up. So Cristina, thank you so much for being on the show, giving us so much encouragement. Hopefully everybody listening will realize, hey, Dustin and Cristina, they're just like our next door neighbors. They're normal, regular, everyday people. I could do it too. So Cristina, thank you so much for being on the show.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Dustin. Thank you for having me.